I want to start out with this thing that you obviously will see through these stories we tell today about the lost ones. And it is this, that you have great value to God. You have great value to God. You know, we're berated and bombarded and pressed down on all sides and told that we aren't valuable, that we don't mean anything. And I want to tell you, you have great value to God. You have great value to God. Now, there's these different versions of lost. Can we agree on that? There's different versions of lost. And it's there's kind of phases of it. Like you have things that are kind of lost. How many people know what I'm talking about? Like, I lost that. Did you really lose it? Well, it's kind of lost, right? That's like when you lose your car keys, right? And your keys are kind of lost. Like you really haven't lost them. They're just somewhere where you can't physically find them right this moment. How many people know what I'm talking about? And most of the time it's because your children took your car keys, right? Or your spouse. Anybody? Nobody? Celeste's not in here? Definitely your spouse. Your spouse took your car keys? No. Most of the time it's because you're so busy doing whatever you were doing that you inadvertently left them in a place that you didn't think where they were at. And so that's where they're kind of lost. The second one is mostly lost. It's a mostly lost item. Now, I'm from Arizona, and for those who watch abroad, they might not understand this, but in America, we have these things called cups. And they're big ones like this, and we carry them all over the place. How many people know what I'm talking about? When I lived internationally, you don't carry a big cup like this. This is haram. This is terrible. You go to a place, you have a drink, you enjoy it, and then you leave. We are like, I'm taking the drink with me all the places, right? That's the American way. You have a car, has a cup holder, so you take your drink with you, you put it in your chariot of wheels, and then you take it from your chariot and you take it with you onto your next thing. Now here's the deal. Last Sunday, in my fury after the service of running around, I lost this cup. No, this one, my cup, I lost it. And I lost it all the way till Thursday. So it was mostly lost because I literally went through all the places I thought. I'm like, I left it in my office. Oh, I left it in the sound booth. You know where it was? I thought I probably left it over in the multi-purpose with the kids. Maybe it's at the house. Maybe I never brought it Sunday. Like I couldn't remember, and so I'm looking all over the place for my cup. Maybe it's in the kitchen. What would it be in the kitchen for? Maybe maybe somebody has it. And I finally, that was just me looking because I didn't want to ask anybody, right? If it was actually lost. I didn't even ask Celeste, I asked nobody. And finally I summoned the courage to ask Tina, who helps us in the church. I was like, hey Tina, you didn't see like a white cup that someone had. She's like, your cup? I was like, it's a cup. It's like white and no. Yeah, my cup. And she's like, yeah, I think it's over here, and gave me the exact location of where it was. Then she had seen it, and it just caught her attention because it didn't belong there. It was lost. It didn't belong there. And so I was able to recover it because it was only mostly lost. Then you have this last one, which is, it's the terrifying one, which is all is lost. All is lost. And that's whenever the situation, the lost problem, it's devastating. There is no upside to the thing being lost. We have this lovely daughter named Shiloh, and I love Shiloh very much. She's amazing and artistic and sweet and kind, and I love her. But when she was 3, she was fiery and crazy, and she was all the things. And we were like, dear Jesus, give us help. And so she looked like this when she was 3. You guys got that next one? She was very cute. She's also very still artistic, so very, very sweet. And we were in Paris. We were serving at the International Church there, the Bridge, and we had a church picnic after our service. So you can see in this next image, the map, it's Rue Malmaison is where we would meet, just in the near suburbs of Paris. And in doing so, we were a short walk to this Isle of Impressionists, which is where this massive park was, where we would have our church picnics. And it was an amazing thing because everyone would bring stuff along, and we'd have canopies and just have an amazing time of our church family together. All these different nationalities bringing food and different things together. It was great. And it's the island where all these people would paint pictures of the scenery, all these mature trees and the river, the Seine. It encapsulates this island. So we're right there, and it's at a beautiful spot. Now there's this amazing jungle gym that they have that probably wouldn't function in America because it's super dangerous, but it works just fine. in Europe because nobody dies on it because they're sensible. How many people know what I'm talking about? So anyway, so all of our kids are having a good time there. And Celeste was there with Shiloh, and she was our littlest one. Javen was playing some soccer with some kids, and so she's there with her. And then a friend was like, hey, I'll watch you. Why don't you go and do what you need to do? Because we were running the picnic. And so I'm over talking with some folks and trying to get things set up, and I suddenly hear this terrifying scream from Celeste. And she's just like, Jay! And I was like, what? What? And she runs over to me. She's like, we can't find Shiloh. Now, we're on an island surrounded by a really fast-moving river. And it's a massive park. It's a massive island. And this utter fear came over me. And I couldn't do anything about it. My daughter was lost. And so we started to go and just look amongst all of our kids, and we started to tell friends, and we weren't trying to panic, but suddenly there's 20 people looking for Shiloh, and we can't find her. And so I'm thinking, what if the unimaginable has happened and she's gone to the water? And I sprint to the water, and there's all sorts of trees and rubbish and stuff along the brambles and things along the edge. And so I push through the brambles, and I spook some birds. And so I think, okay, well, she didn't come this way because I spooked the birds. And so I start running, just running as far as I can to try to find my lost daughter. And I cross 1 and then 2, and they have all these soccer pitches. There's like 8 of them, and I cross 1 and 3 and 4 and 5. And in the far distance, there's this woman carrying a little girl. And I see her, and I just start to sprint towards this woman. And there in her arms is our little girl, our little blonde girl who's crying. And this wonderful French woman was speaking to her in French, and she's like, she's not a French, is she? And I said, no. And she goes, yes, she couldn't respond to me. And when I tried in English, then she would respond. And she goes, here, baby, here's your daddy. And I picked up my daughter in my arms, and the panic and the grief and all the stress that was there hit me all at one time. And I just started to cry because I had found the girl that I was looking for. I found my daughter. And without her, I was going to be in devastation because all was lost. And see, that's where we are without Jesus. That all is lost. And try as we might, and the best plans that we do, and all the sprinting and running here and there, and trying the best that we can to save our souls, we can't. We can't earn it. We can't do good enough things. A holy God requires a holy sacrifice. It requires Jesus. And so for us, in our best ambitions, man, I have good friends who believe all sorts of other things. But I tell you this, good enough is not good enough because you need Jesus. Because Jesus is the one that's going to save you. And man, in that moment, I was just thanking God with my arms wrapped around my daughter that all was not lost because I had found her. He had helped me find her by bringing someone else along to help me in my time of need.